Why hello Butter Bites, welcome back to the Steak and Butter Vlogs. Today I really wanted to take on a trend that is taking over YouTube, but I want to do it my way. Carnivore, high fat, Bella's approach, my top habits that I now practice every single day to reach my fit girl glow up, to feel amazing, and to most importantly be confident in my own skin. If you know me or you followed me and watched my content for even a little bit, you know that that is the message that I want to spread. To teach women how to be confident in their own skin in sustainable, healthy habits, where you are not trying to find that next cheat code, shortcut, you always gain the weight back and you just don't feel good. You feel starving, you feel hungry, your skin is not glowing, your hair is not thick and luscious. So I'm only going to be sharing the habits that actually work, but it is contingent on one thing. I'm gonna get really up close because this is the important part. All of these habits I'm gonna share, they work and you're gonna feel and look amazing, but contingent on one thing, the fact that you do it every single day, okay? I call it habit stacking. When you habit stack, when you do these simple little habits every single day, for a long period of time, there's no way you're not gonna get results. So we're gonna deep dive into it. Get your cup of tea, coffee, water, sparkling water, whatever you drink, bone broth, and let's get started. I'm gonna switch it up for today's vlog. If you wanna show me that you're an OG, that you're paying attention, I want you to comment the country that you're from. So if it's just one, comment that flag down below. If it's multiple, comment all the flags. I want to see where my Butter Bites are from. Comment it down below. My flags, I'm going to put up the China flag, USA flag. While I share all of my secrets and tips, I'm going to be cooking lunch. This is actually perfect because it's my first habit. Clean up your diet. If there's anything that you guys start focusing on, start with cleaning up your diet. I'm going to give you some simple foods to eat so that you can clean up your diet and still enjoy your diet. This is the beef that I'm going to be cutting into and eating today. This is actually an entire primal tenderloin from Max Kane Farm Match. He gifted me 2 entire delicious, fresh, never frozen tenderloin primals, and I do dry brine, but I dry brine without the salt. In my fridge, over time, it just becomes more and more dry aged like this, or do you call this wet aged? I learned this from Anthony Chafee when I visited him in Elle in Australia. Their entire fridge was just filled with these types of stands, these racks, and filled with beef, just dry brining over time, except I don't do salt. If you're on a budget, ground beef is gonna be your friend. Bulk buy anything that is on sale and store it in your freezer. This is the best tip to save money. This video might attract non-carnivores as well. So if you're a true Butter Bite, just give me some patience. I wanna make sure everybody benefits from today's vlog. So by cleaning up your diet, number 1, cutting out all of the seed oils from your diet. This might actually be a habit in itself that you have to start practicing. Read every single ingredients list of every single bite of food that you feed your body, because your body deserves seed oil-free bites, okay? If you see canola oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, grapeseed oil, throw it in the trash. Your body does not deserve to be fed those things. Cut out any refined sugar, anything that is processed with food dyes especially, and focus on whole single ingredient foods. That's what I mean when I say clean up your diet. I personally don't even mean eat a strict carnivore diet, because I've seen plenty of people in the steak and butter gang thrive with just a meat-heavy diet, still eating foods that are single ingredient foods. I really like this rule because it's idiot-proof and you can remember it easily. So for example, this is a single ingredient food because it's just chicken egg. So I told you guys to cut out all the seed oils, all of the plant oils. Well, what do I eat instead? These 2 are the best fats you could possibly eat, no matter what diet you're on, okay? So cleaning up your diet, replace it with this, butter, or this, tallow. It's easy to find, budget friendly, and so delicious. If you want the more tasty one, I would go with butter. It brings creamy, buttery flavor to everything that you cook it with. Tallow is more for my sensitive autoimmune healers. If you have any sensitivities, I would go with tallow for now. By the way, everything that I'm talking about, I will of course link down below, don't worry. I wanna explain why I have been such a big butter lover. I call you guys my Butter Bite. My handle is Steak and Butter Gal, Steak and Butter Vlogs. Butter has been such a a huge part of my life. Butter is such a nutrient-dense animal fat. When you eat butter, you're gonna notice you are satiated, your food noise goes away. For the first time, you're not gonna have food noise. You're gonna notice your sugar cravings slowly dissipate and disappear. Remember the caveat though, you have to do this every day. That is the whole point of this video. And that's the difficult part. But you can do it. Just keep watching my videos. So we've got raw butter. I'm gonna open this for you guys. Aspen is going cuckoo. The moment he hears wrapping or plastic wrap or food wrap, he comes running over. You need to brace yourselves because just look at that color. Even Aspen is impressed. He's like, is that cheese? Is that butter? What is that? It is so good. It genuinely is the best butter I've ever eaten. It's better than French butter, and I think it's just because my taste buds have developed to only want raw butter from Miller's Bio Farm. My blood by now is made up of butter. I started off the carnivore diet eating 1 stick of butter a day. Some days during my first year, I was eating 2 sticks of butter. And that's because my body was starving. I want to talk about initial weight gain on a carnivore diet. When I first went carnivore, this is 7 years ago, I only had a few channels to learn from and be inspired from and to make sure that it was my daily motivation to keep me on track. Kelly Hogan was the #1 channel that I could not stop watching. I literally binged on all of her content. And what really kept me going with my initial carnivore experience was Kelly Hogan sharing that she initially gained a lot of weight. Because that happened to me when I first went carnivore. And I want you guys to know, I'm gonna share it again because maybe a lot of you guys missed this, but when I first went carnivore, I gained 25 pounds. It is very safe to say that I gained at least 25 pounds when I first went carnivore. Keep in mind, I was vegan for 6 years before I went carnivore. I was already deeply, deeply malnourished. And so upon going carnivore, why did I gain weight? Because my body was starving, it was stressed out, my cortisol was out of whack, my hormones were wrecked. I actually lost my period. But despite all of that, I felt puffy, heavy, and tired. So enter carnivore when you start eating the most nutrient-dense foods in the world. Your body's gonna wake up. It's gonna suddenly be like, oh my gosh, she's finally feeding me the nutrients that I have been craving for. And when it eats that first bite or that first meal, it's only going to want more. Because your body is smart. It wants to heal. It wants to feed you and nourish you and rejuvenate every cell of your body. And so the moment it gets that first carnivore meal, your body is almost going to be like, I need more. In fact, I need all of it, as much of it right now, today. You're going to feel an opening up of your appetite. For some, myself included, your appetite might actually become ravenous and almost uncontrollable. It is a very scary feeling. I had a lot of doubts. I wondered, am I gonna gain weight and blow up and become a balloon? Is this appetite ever going to settle and calm down? Am I really going to need 5 pounds of meat every single day forever? This is so scary. I promise you it's not gonna be forever. Because looking at the portions that I eat today, would you believe it that I ate double, if not triple, when I first started carnivore in my first year? I absolutely needed to eat 5 pounds of meat a day and up to 2 sticks of butter. I could not stop eating. So therefore I gained 20, 30 pounds. But I would not have healed if I did not allow my body to just eat. Eat, gain that healthy weight, rest, and just heal. It took me about 6 full months of high-fat carnivore diet, eating as much as I wanted, before my appetite began to settle down. So I always get asked timeline, give me a timeline because it'll give me hope. 6 months for my appetite, my voracious, ravenous appetite. I felt like I had no bottom to my stomach, okay? 6 months of eating as much as I wanted every single day. Habit, remember? Every single day I allowed myself, but I stayed strict. 6 months, I noticed, wow, I don't need 5 pounds. I need like 3 to 4 pounds. And then another 6 months of that, 1 full year, is when my appetite recovered back to normal. And after 1 year of high-fat carnivore diet, my weight started to drop. I gained and gained and gained for that first 6 months. I plateaued for the next 6 months. And after the first full year, that's when my weight started to drop. I would say my second year of carnivore was the year of experimentation. I did beef only diet, I did liver, no liver. I did all of the experiments, salt, no salt. But that whole second year, I was slowly shedding that extra weight. Third year was when the body recomposition started to happen. Okay, this little baby wants to sleep, so I'm gonna put him down. Good boy. So the third year, I was obsessed with OMADs. Just so obsessed with OMADs. I think I must have done like 6 to 7 months of OMADs. I started to learn my boundaries, and I realized that long of a period of OMADs was stressing out my body. So the third year was discovery of my boundaries, I would say. But despite that, my third year, body recomposition was happening. I started seeing my chest area develop. My waist started to kind of shrink a little bit. My bloat definitely was going away. I mean, to this day, it's gone. It never happens anymore. Legs were no longer holding water weight, and my face was starting to change as well. My cheekbones were popping, jaws were becoming more chiseled, my puffy eyes started to depuff naturally. And not to mention my skin issues, they already started healing 6 months into carnivore. So many positive and incredible things were happening where every single new month that I would continue to be carnivore, I would be more and more amazed, inspired, and excited. My first 3 years of carnivore was life-changing for me. I was discovering a person that I never knew was in there. So there's so much hope for anyone who tries a carnivore diet. But the caveat is you have to do it every day. There is no such thing as Monday to Friday carnivore, Saturday, Sunday cheat meals, eat whatever I want. That's not gonna work. You're never gonna reach your full potential. Fourth year is when I was like, you know what? I feel incredible just being carnivore, that I truly feel like I can trust my body and just eat whatever it craves on a carnivore diet, however many meals it wants. It was the year of cruising, and I just let carnivore do its thing and I listened to my body. Fifth year is when I started to introduce something I never truly introduced. Definitely started moving my body. So I would go on walks every single day, and I made that a new habit to do every single day. Get outside, go on walks, and ground. Barefoot, in the grass, in the dirt, on the floor. That single habit alone, another level, quality of life, just completely improving in every aspect. Sixth year is when I started upping the level of activity, strength training, dumbbells, working out twice a week. And now I'm in my 7th year, and I feel like I'm finally marrying the most important pillars together and doing the best that I can possibly do, hitting every single aspect. A lot of you guys may not even know about my initial weight gain. If you have any follow-up questions, I will go into as much detail as you guys want me to. Drop it down below as a request in the comments. Cheers. I'm gonna keep this vlog channel relaxing, simple, low cortisol vibe. One of my favorite, also most viral recipes that I've ever posted, it is my Jiggly Jello. This is literally just chilled bone broth. Homemade is the best because you can control how much collagen is in it. The more collagen, the jigglier. And I'm gonna put my recipe right now. This is a current obsession of mine. This is from Teton Waters Ranch, and only recently did I really start getting into eating this sausage. I am no longer a no-salt carnivore, so this sausage has been such a staple and such a lifesaver. So I always pair a couple of these with all of my carnivore meals. It's pasture-raised, no sugar, so good. We're gonna be cooking all of this and eating. You guys know how much raw dairy I eat. I personally need to eat a lot of raw dairy now because I'm not trying to lose weight anymore. I just wanna move, I just wanna do hard things. I genuinely cannot sit down for long periods of time because my body just wants to move, just wants to do something. So because I've been working out a lot, I would say 2 to 3 times a week, every single week, I'm back to routine. Whenever I travel, it gets a little bit difficult. Because of my goals, I eat a lot of raw dairy. And it's not just raw butter, but everything is from Miller's Biofarm. I eat so much raw cottage cheese. I'll put overlays, raw kefir, raw yogurt, raw cream. I don't do raw milk because it makes me sleepy, so I never do raw milk. Anything that's fermented and raw dairy, give it to me. I will eat it. It is so good for me. Let's start cooking, and then when I sit down, I'm gonna go through the rest of my habits. Dun dun dun. This is the pan that I use every single day right now. It is non-stick, but it's non-stick and non-toxic, so this is very hard to find. But this is from Our Place. On top of that, it is light weight. I just find myself reaching for it all the time because it's so light. I'll put this here so you guys can see it. The thing with these pans is you have to first preheat it at a low medium heat. That's how it works the best and is just effortless to cook with. Honestly, 3 minutes is enough. So this is the remaining portion of my tenderloin, a nice beautiful wood cutting board that I'm gonna cut it on, sitting in my fridge on my rack for 4 days now. So it's kind of produced this nice crust. This is what it looks like. So pretty. Some butter here just to slightly grease my pan. And I'm just gonna let that melt. I've got 2 good chunks of tenderloin. And by the way, this grease splatter guard is life-changing. Less spraying, wiping, cleaning after every single cook. This prevents any splatter from going everywhere. Hear that sizzle? And now I'm gonna up my heat to like medium high slightly. Now we're going to prepare our sausages. Because I'm lazy, is I just rip it in half, cooks a little bit faster, into my pan to also cook. Finish off with pasteurized eggs. Oh my gosh, I have been on an egg kick. I've been obsessed with fluffy scrambled eggs and I need a lot. So we're gonna do 8. So that's what it's looking like right there. Look at that beautiful color. Wow. Butter really helps inject extra flavor. Now I am beating my eggs right here. Because I'm chatting with you guys, the cook time is gonna take longer, but if I really were in a rush and I needed to cook in less than 10 minutes, it really just takes 10 minutes to cook my meal every day. Everything just goes in the same pan, everything cooks in my butter, and it's literally done in 10 minutes. It's amazing. So I'll just let that rest like that. And my sausages can come out as well. I don't really care about plating it and making it look all good. I only care about that stuff if I'm feeding my husband. For me, the uglier the better, because it means I did it quickly, and that's what matters. Now we're gonna put in our eggs in the remaining butter, and I'm just gonna slowly let it scramble up. And this part is so effortless thanks to this pan. There's literally 0 sticking at all. And it's done in just a few minutes. So I love that about this pan. Everything I use will always be in the description box. Okay, I'm gonna turn around the camera so you can see. Look at this, it's so awesome. It literally does not stick. It becomes the softest, most delicate, fluffy egg scramble. Look at that, and this is about done. And I like it nice and glistening. And this, guys, is the finished product of my lunch. Yes, he's such a good boy. He deserves some. Here you go. Good boy. And this is meal 1 of 2. I eat 2 meals a day. So filet mignon, sausage, scrambled eggs, 8 eggs with some raw butter here. I'll just eat it out of this. And let's eat. Okay, Butter Bites, now that I've happily sat down and I'm eating my meal, we are going to hang out and chat with me on the voiceover. And you can also enjoy watching me eat my meal. So it's best of both worlds. So I wanted to first start off with expanding on the fat loss on a carnivore diet portion, just because I work with so many Steak and Butter Gang members and I see the different groups of people who come in. There's a big group of people who go carnivore and they think they're doing everything right, but they're not getting the results that they thought they'd get. They wonder, why is everyone else dropping weight so easily, 10, 20, 30, 40 pounds gone within the first few months, but I'm here eating carnivore and my fat loss has completely stalled, or it hasn't happened at all. Number 1, most important thing, I want you to know that you're not broken. You are not broken. And your carnivore diet is also not broken. You're not doing it wrong. What's happening is that your body is changing. The first principle that I want every single person who is starting a carnivore diet to truly understand and digest is weight loss and fat loss are not the same thing. The scale measures everything. It measures fat, muscle, water, food sitting in your stomach, waste in your intestines, even how hydrated you are. Your body doesn't know you're trying to impress the bathroom scale or trying to reach a specific number. It only knows biology. And so here's the mistake I see so many members make. They lose 20 pounds, but they don't actually like how they look. Why? Because they lost muscle right along with all of that body fat. Your goal shouldn't be becoming the smallest version of yourself. It should honestly be becoming the healthiest version of yourself. That is a huge difference to me. I see the carnivore diet as choosing the long game to success. Success being your hormones finally improve, your insulin levels improve, your inflammation finally decreases for good, and you're finally nourishing your body properly. All of these things are building the conditions that support fat loss over time. Now, the reason why a lot of carnivores lose weight so fast at first, I, by the way, was not one of them, but there are many in SBG. I call this the honeymoon phase. Most people coming to carnivore aren't even coming from a perfect diet. They're coming from years and maybe even decades of eating junk, ultra-processed food, sugar, seed oils, refined carbohydrates, constantly snacking all day, every day. When you remove these foods, something amazing happens. You really become satiated for the first time, and you could actually, for the first time, skip dessert because you're satiated. So protein and fat, I have learned, by the way, after eating a vegan diet of just carbs and no fat. Protein and fat are the most incredibly satisfying foods for humans. A lot of people go carnivore, and instead of eating every 2 hours or every 1 hour, they're now eating just 2 meals a day, 3 meals a day, and they are not even thinking about food anymore. Lots of things are happening in your body, and you just can't skip these crucial steps of your body changing and shifting and learning new signals. Now I want to really talk about the concept of healing before fat loss. What does it actually mean? And why do so many people talk about heal before fat loss? The body, you need to know, is very smart, and it's always going to prioritize survival. So if your body has nutritional deficiencies or hormonal dysfunction or years of chronic inflammation, I promise you its priority is not getting a six-pack. Its priority is restoring your health. And for a lot of people, chasing fat loss and six-pack abs, that can be frustrating. But remember this, a healthier metabolism is what makes sustainable fat loss possible. Trying to force rapid fat loss before your body is ready often creates the exact cycle you've been trying to escape. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest mistakes I see SBG members make. They become afraid of eating enough. So they think, okay, if I eat less, I'll lose fat faster. That sounds logical, but biology is not always that simple. If you're constantly hungry, thinking about food every single hour, needing massive amounts of caffeine just to get through the day, and you're feeling exhausted and unable to recover from workouts, those aren't signs that you're doing well. Those are signs that your plan needs to be adjusted and you need to focus on nourishing. So that's why carnivore, like I mentioned earlier, feels so much like, wow, I never knew I had this appetite. I never knew I could eat this much for so many people. And I see that as a blessing and a really, really good thing that it's happening to you, because most likely you're going to be one of the cases where you're going to heal faster. And soon you're going to start losing weight and reaching your optimal body composition. For other people, their appetite just doesn't wake up. It is just constantly dead, very small. There is no appetite. You're just honestly grazing and eating small portions throughout the day. And this is where I highly, highly recommend Coach Raymond's priming protocol, because priming was created by Raymond when he was working with hundreds, if not thousands upon thousands of carnivore clients, being the head coach and the most popular, top-rated coach at MeatRx back in the day. And this is 9 years ago. He was the most sought-after carnivore coach because Sean Baker's MeatRx platform was the only platform for carnivores to even connect. Oh, things have changed now, 9 years later, but Raymond was the top coach. And because he had the gift of working with so many people, he was able to identify clearly what the biggest culprit was when it came to why some people succeeded and others did not succeed with a carnivore diet. He knew that if he could just create a very simple, idiot-proof, elementary school level protocol for his coaching clients to follow, they wouldn't have to think too hard. They wouldn't have to analyze too hard. They would just need to follow his simple plan and reach success, just like all of the other easy ones. And so because he had these more difficult cases, priming became literally a lifesaver for the more difficult cases with no appetite. And what is priming? It's literally just eating 3 meals a day, as if it were your job. You would have to eat 3 meals a day. Not a single day can you skip eating 3 meals a day. And in his standard protocol, it lasts 2 weeks long. And I've had the pleasure and honor of watching him teach his priming protocol for the last 6 years through the Steak and Butter Gang, because that's what my 90-day challenge, the foundation of it, is Raymond's priming protocol. And so being able to witness so many difficult, tough cases of people just not healing, not feeling energy, feeling heavy and puffy and not losing weight, once they go through priming, wow, the dead appetite members, they literally start feeling an appetite again. Their metabolism becomes revved up and awake. And of course, the healing happens. And the healing stories that we have witnessed, jaw-dropping, jaw on the floor, goosebumps all over the body. You will not believe the incredible healing stories we have witnessed through our 90-day challenges. You either have a big appetite on carnivore when you first begin, or you have no appetite. I can see that there are many different types of beginning stages, and there honestly is no one size fits all. But if there were one protocol that fits most, I will say it is priming. So priming is honestly just as simple as that. It's just 3 meals a day. Eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I know it's old school, but when you combine it with a carnivore diet, it really works. And after the 2 weeks, Raymond then walks you through natural, gentle intermittent fasting. So you get to experience TUMAD, OMAD, alternate day, 48-hour, if you want to push it that far. It's 3 months worth of learning your body with Coach Raymond, and the entire program is in SBG. So if you do want to join, the link is always there. You can also just learn so much from what I teach and what I share and what I feature when it comes to testimonials on my main channel and here. I see so many people equate losing weight with eating less. Please look into priming, because it will blow your mind. Are you eating out of habit instead of hunger? Because one of the greatest benefits of a carnivore diet is that it reminds us of something that we may have forgotten years or decades ago. It teaches us again what real hunger actually feels like. Before I went carnivore, I was eating breakfast 11 a.m., 12 p.m., 2 p.m., 4 p.m., 6 p.m. I was constantly dreaming about food, sugar, carbs, the next snack. Even just watching an ad about my favorite food, I would get hungry. Carnivore diet removes literally all of those sounds, the food noise, the cravings, those voices. Understanding quite well in the beginning, is this a craving? Is this hunger? Is this just my emotions speaking? So this is my best tip, my best little trick. If you really want to know if you're hungry or not, use my boiled egg trick. Boil like 30 eggs for the whole week. Every time you're not sure if you're hungry or if it's a craving or your emotions, you're just feeling a little bit emotional, go to the fridge and get that already pre-boiled hard-boiled egg or soft-boiled egg. Eat it. When you're eating it, if it doesn't taste delicious and if it doesn't entice you and makes you want to eat more, you're not actually hungry. You're just not. So go back to living your life. Don't think about the food, or definitely don't eat chocolate or sugar or cookies. Just eat that boiled egg. Okay, number 2, I want you to ask yourself, what are you drinking? I see a lot of members, they don't ask themselves what they're drinking all day, every day, and we're constantly drinking stuff. We're sipping, we're drinking. We love working and drinking and sipping on something, right? When you actually look and evaluate what you're drinking, a lot of my members realize, oh my gosh, I'm actually drinking so much coffee and so much heavy cream and a lot of creamy coffee. That heavy cream that you put in your coffee, if you're drinking 2, 3, 4, 5, that heavy cream does add up, and it does spike your insulin every time you're sipping on it all throughout the day. So here is my little hack. Swap all that heavy cream out with butter. Butter does not spike your insulin. It still tastes so creamy-licious, and it's even better for your cortisol. So you're going to reach the state of calm. You're going to get that deliciousness and the notes that you crave from your creamy coffee, except you won't spike your insulin, and you're going to nourish your cells. Let's talk about sleep. Sleep is crucial. I know a lot of you guys already know this. Maybe some of you guys are struggling with your sleep and you're feeling the after effects and consequences of poor sleep. If there's anything that has been life-changing that I can just give to you right now, if you're not wearing an eye mask, you are missing out on some of the deepest sleep you'll ever experience. Go get an eye mask. I cannot even sleep without an eye mask anymore. Plane, I have my eye mask. Train, I have an eye mask. Taxi, I have an eye mask. I go everywhere with my eye mask. If I want to just shut out and take a nap and just rejuvenate, my eye mask conks me out within minutes. For those who cannot fall asleep or they wake up in the middle of the night, you got to try bedside butter. So just put a couple of tablespoons or like a whole chunk of butter by your bedside every single night. It's just accessible there. Every time you wake up, just take a bite of that butter and it will physically, instantaneously calm you down so that you can fall back asleep. Great hack. My next top hack is the 2 hours before you're about to fall asleep, you need to be wearing red, blue light blocking glasses. Those are the strange red colored lenses that you see a lot of people in the space wear. It's because it also blocks out the harmful blue light rays from your screens, like desktop, laptop, phones, anything that you're scrolling and looking at and reading or watching. You need to be wearing those red light glasses so that your body can prep for deep sleep. And I like 2 hours before I want to sleep. I now move my body more than I've ever moved my body in my entire life. And I wouldn't be able to move my body this intensely, lifting weights, walking every day, and just having the energy to move at this level, again, if I did not focus on healing first with a carnivore diet. My activity levels, my first 3 years of carnivore, not a single day did I go to the gym, okay? Not a single day did I even lift a single dumbbell. No, I just focused on nourishing, eating, healing, sleeping, resting, rejuvenating. And then when my body felt ready, I started walking. So if you are sick, feeling so low energy that you can't move your body, that's a-okay. That is a negotiable for me. Movement should only happen when your body is comfortable and safe and ready to do that movement. So for a lot of my healing members, I just have them do very short spurts of relaxing walks. So squats, lunges, sitting on a chair, standing up from a chair multiple times throughout the day gets the blood pumping and flowing. It gets your heart rate up. This is good. If you need me to show you my favorite workouts and what movements I like doing, I'm happy to do that here on this vlog. So let me know. Living under constant stress. I get it if you have lots of kids, you are a new mom, you have a stressful job. There are habits that you can practice every day to be more intentional, to be more present, and to be more relaxed. The first habit that has been life-changing literally has just been journaling. This is something that I picked up about 4 years ago, and I started off just journaling everything that was weighing on me, anything that was making me down, stressed out, worried. I just let it pour out on the paper. All of the voices in my head that were bothering me, I just wrote it down. And it almost felt like those voices just went away after I wrote it down on paper. You'll notice that when you start venting and letting all of the negativity out on paper, you start feeling better naturally. It's really quite magical. You just feel lighter. You feel more positive. You start having more of the emotional capacity to start feeling good things like gratitude, love, joy. Going outside is such a mood lifter. Spending time with family is probably one of the biggest life hacks because you feel the dopamine, you feel the connection from people that you love and trust and who are just part of your unit, and creating happy, wonderful memories filled with delicious food and meat and laughs. And by the way, when I say family, I'm also talking about my entire Carnivore Diet family. So my Steak and Butter Gang members, team, my vlog fam here, you guys, Butter Bites main channel, you guys are my family. Just the feeling of community is so powerful. Makes you feel this sense of belonging, like you are part of a passionate, happy tribe. Gets me going every single day. So I'm very grateful about that. Okay, now I'm gonna just finish off this little vlog that honestly went on quite long. So I'm gonna wrap up now with a list of questions, and you can play this over and over and just have my voice be in your head. But this weekly checklist, I want you to really ask yourself and get into the habit of asking yourself, your beautiful body that you really can trust. Did I build my meals around a carnivore diet? Did I truly do my best with eating plenty of protein, as much fat as I need? And did I truly eat enough? Really think about that. Okay? Did I truly eat until comfortably satisfied instead of being scared of eating too much? Did I move my body today in ways that made me happy? Did I go on a nice walk outside today? Did I prioritize my sleep last night? Did I manage my stress instead of letting it control my choices? Did I stay consistent even when motivation wasn't quite there? If you can honestly answer yes to most of those questions I asked you, you are doing so well. You are doing way better than most people, and you are doing far better than you think. So I want to tell you that you are an incredible person. I love you. You make this community whole. If you're struggling, check out the description box for extra help, extra avenues to get help. And I'm just so grateful that I get to make vlogs and that you guys even care to watch it and that you guys support me. This community is truly the best community in the world, and I am so happy to be a part of it. Any follow-up questions, just drop it down below. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you for watching. So I'm cleaning up and look what I see.